Will you marry me?
You're marrying into 3 families if I say yes to you, okay?
I'd understand if they're your blood relatives. But you're not even related to them, right? Camille, what did you just do?
Will you marry me?
Whoa.
What, you don't want to get married because you want to keep seeing other women?
You're the girl from last night.
Tonight on One News, Donald Trump agrees to a 2-week
Stay connected
ceasefire
to the
with
stories
Iran,
that
bombing
matter most, from the heart of the Pacific to communities across the region. One News bring you the latest headlines, real voices, and the issues shaping our world. Trusted, relevant, and proudly Pacifica. Catch One News live weekdays at 4 p.m. on TVWAN.
The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
Good evening, I'm Tracy Pa with the news. In this edition, police air capability restored. Chief Justice further referred to NEC, and calls to protect oceans grows strong. The Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary has regained its aviation capability following the gifting of 2 helicopters by the Australian Federal Police. When thanking the Australian government and its people for always supporting PNG, Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso emphasized that law and order is the cornerstone of a country's growth. Two Bell 412 helicopters were presented to the Royal PNG Constabulary today at the Manalos hangar in Lae, Morobe Province. This major boost to the police force's surveillance and emergency response capabilities was commemorated with a police parade by the Special Services Division, or the Mobile Squad, and new police recruits. This was subsequently followed by an inspection of the Guard of Honor by the Deputy Prime Minister and Member for Lae, John Rosso. In his speech, Rosso outlined how important law and order is for any country to grow and prosper.
For everyone, law and order is the basis of any country's survival. It is law and order, nothing less, nothing more. Without law and order, no country prospers, no country survives, no country moves forward.
He said the helicopters fall under the Australia-Papua New Guinea Bilateral Security Agreement, a journey that started with negotiations in 2023 and became a legally binding framework in 2024. Commissioner of Police David Manning said air mobility matters because it enables rapid response across difficult terrain, helps them reach remote communities, supports operations and saves lives through search and rescue, disaster response, and medevac support. He detailed that the RPNGC has partnered with Manalos as it has a proven track record in training capability uplift and service to PNG's most remote communities.
Through our partnership with Manalos Aviation, 4 young cadet pilots will be trained to operate these RPNGC helicopters in the future and join the RPNGC as full-time pilots. Our Air Wing staff will be mentored, supported and developed to ensure that over the coming years, the RPNGC has a fully developed, operational and sustainable Air Wing.
Australia is proud to be Papua New Guinea's policing partner of choice. We've worked very hard to earn your trust. We don't take it for granted. It's a partnership that is of true national significance to both our countries, and it's delivering practical outcomes to enhance law and order in Papua New Guinea, in Australia and also in the Pacific region.
Following the completion of all aviation regulatory compliance requirements, the Bell 412 helicopters will enter frontline operations in some of the country's most rugged and inaccessible regions, enabling rapid deployment of police to high-risk or remote locations, faster response to law and order incidents, aerial surveillance and intelligence-led policing, and support to disaster response and humanitarian operations. Kamala Guare, TVWAN News, Lae.
The Ombudsman Commission has decided to invoke its reserve powers under the Constitution and the Organic Law on the duties and responsibilities of leadership to refer Chief Justice Segib Salika to the National Executive Council for alleged misconduct in office. This follows the Public Prosecutor Office declining to bring proceedings against Segib. The Ombudsman Commission has reacted to the decision by the Public Prosecutor's Office to pursue a leadership tribunal against Chief Justice Segib Salika by invoking its reserve powers under Section 29(2) of the Constitution and subsection 27(3) of the Organic Law on the duties and responsibilities of leadership to refer the matter to the National Executive Council. The OC published a media statement on Monday, 11th March in the press. 3 days ago, on 9th March 2026, the OC referred the matter concerning the Chief Justice to the Public Prosecutor pursuant to Section 29(1) of the Constitution and Section 17D, 24 and 27(1) of the Organic Law on the Duties and Responsibilities of Leadership, or OLDRL, after it was satisfied that leader may be guilty of misconduct in the office. However, the Office of the Public Prosecutor cleared Segib of any wrongdoing. Acting Public Prosecutor Ellen Rohalakona announced there was insufficient materials to refer the Chief Justice to the NEC for the appointment of a leadership tribunal. Rohalakona stated that pursuant to Section 177B of the Constitution, she declined to be in a proceeding under the Leadership Code for misconduct in office. The case against Segib relates to the failure to declare income received by himself and his spouse between 2017 and 2024. Chief Ombudsman Richard Pagan stated that Section 179 of the Constitution gives NEC the power to appoint a tribunal to investigate the complaints. Pagan added that the NEC must determine whether the question of removal of duty of the specific ground or grounds arises such that a tribunal should be appointed to investigate the matter. If NEC decides to appoint a tribunal, then it is satisfied that there are grounds for removal from office. A memorandum of understanding was signed today between the Special Economic Zone Authority and the National Procurement Commission to work together to ensure procurement of goods and services by SCZ license holders are governed by PNG procurement laws. Under this MOU, CISA and NPC will also work together on areas of capacity building by training CISA staff on procurement requirements.
With the special economic zones seen as the way forward for PNG,
the National Procurement Commission signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the Special Economic Zone Authority today, positioning itself to provide support to SEZA and SEZ license holders in the future to address their procurement needs.
National Procurement will provide guidance and support to SEZ to achieve your objective and outcomes. We will be providing support in terms of manpower, in terms of guidance, and operating within the legal framework. And that is very important in this partnership.
The MOU will cover special economic zone projects under the private-public partnership arrangement.
The development of the SEZ will not go far in this country. And that's why we are here today to sign this memorable MOU. And it marks and heralds the beginning or the dawn of new things to come for us to essentially cooperate. One of the things that we've been considering in CESA is to look at how we would progress procurement of goods and services by looking at how the NPC can delegate its powers and authority to have a procurement committee within CESA. That is something that is work in progress. We are working on it, and we will see how best we can progress the agenda.
So far, 5 SEZ licenses have been issued, of which 1 is professional, but all are private and are not covered under this MOU.
All of them are privately developed, so there is no PPP arrangement in place. But the Special Economic Zones Authority development is dynamic, it's ongoing. So there will come a time when the PPP requirement will be required, and that's a time when the NPC procurement requirements will kick in. There are other developments outside of the NCD where the government would be required to put in place critical enablers, and that's where the NPC requirements in terms of procurement of goods and services will be required.
This partnership is expected to deliver stronger procurement compliance and accountability within SEZA, greater transparency, reduced procurement risks, improve operational effectiveness, and enhance institutional coordination. Ruth Rongola, TVWAN News. 19 students at Butuka Academy received free prescription glasses yesterday as part of a major school eye health initiative aimed at improving vision and educational outcomes for children in Port Moresby. The program continued later in the day at Gordon Secondary School, where an additional 7 students also received prescription glasses. The distribution marked another important milestone in a landmark vision care program launched on World Sight Day on October 9, 2025, to address preventable vision impairment among school-age children. To date, 4,172 students across 8 government schools have undergone comprehensive eye screening. The program addresses affordable visual impairment that can negatively affect academic performance and social development. For the first time in years, all agricultural institutions have come together at the National Agriculture Research Institute at 10 Mile outside Lae today. The rebranded National Agriculture Research System Innovation Show Honours was open to the public and displayed new innovations and technologies that have been achieved through research.
Formerly known as the National Agricultural Research Institute's Innovation Show, the National Agriculture Research Systems Innovation Show has been rebranded to highlight the importance of research in the agriculture sector. Today, all agricultural institutions gathered at 10 Mile outside Lae City to display their products.
This is about research in the country that is done in various different value chain or sectors, bring them together so that we can now demonstrate the innovations in the agriculture sector. It's been happening out there, but it's been happening quietly and in silos, behind the background and not coming out. So we want to expose our scientists, our inventors, or those people thinking.
This event brought together all agricultural research institutions, from the commodity boards the Livestock Development Corporation, Fresh Produce Development Agency, PNG Biosecurity, the National Agriculture Research Institute, and the Department of Agriculture and Livestock. They came together to address farming challenges and present the opportunities available in an agriculture value chain. NARI also exhibited its research on the black soldier fly larvae and its potential in being used as an alternative source of protein for livestock feed. Kamila Guare, TVWAN News, Lae.
This is TVWAN News. We'll bring you stories from the inaugural Melanesian Ocean Summit after these short messages. Stay with us.
Banking doesn't have to be complicated. With PSP's One Talk Wallet, control your money wherever, whenever. Dial *131#, enter your PIN, select cash in or out, and generate a secure code to withdraw cash. It's the only wallet for cardless ATM withdrawals. Send and receive funds, pay for goods and bills, or withdraw cash with ease. All with PSP's One Talk Wallet. PSP's One Talk Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# today.
When you're all in, anything can happen. Grab a Coca-Cola and enjoy the moment.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
Show the dishes who's boss. Fight mess with Axion, the tough grease stripper. 100% effective at doing the dirty work. The triple active power breaks down tough grease, and its antibacterial formula leaves dishes squeaky clean. Get tough on grease. Get Axion.
Welcome back. Prime Minister James Marape has welcomed regional and international leaders to Papua New Guinea for the inaugural Melanesian Ocean Summit, now underway in Port Moresby.
The summit brings Pacific nations together at a crucial time as climate change, rising sea levels, and marine pollution continue to threaten island states. Prime Minister James Marape therefore says protecting the ocean is central to food security, livelihoods, and climate resilience across the region.
We want to corral and rally the voices of the Pacific in not just ocean preservation, but making sure our continued inherent right in our oceans is preserved for our children who will come into the future.
The Melanesian Ocean Summit continues at the APEC House in Port Moresby this week, with leaders discussing conservation and sustainable ocean management. Susan Oreape, TV1 News.
Papua New Guinea and Timor-Leste have agreed to establish reciprocal embassies following the conclusion of bilateral talks between Prime Minister James Marape and Timor-Leste President Dr. Jose Ramos Horta in Port Moresby yesterday. Prime Minister James Marape will also pay a visit to Timor-Leste later in the year. The meeting, held on the sidelines of the inaugural Melanesian Ocean Summit, focused on deepening trade, diplomatic ties, and people-to-people exchanges between the two oil and gas producing nations.
The Timor-Leste President, Dr. Jose Ramos Horta, arrived in the country Sunday morning for the Melanesian Ocean Summit, currently underway in Port Moresby. He met with the PNG Prime Minister James Marape on the sidelines of the summit, where bilateral talks were held. They discussed a shared regional positioning, noting that PNG and Timor-Leste sit between Australia, ASEAN, and Pacific Island nations, and as PNG's bid to be a member of ASEAN nations continues, President Ramos Horta pledged Timor-Leste's support for this bid.
He's also pledged his nation's support for our country in our bid to be part of ASEAN, a full member of ASEAN. His country, 25th of October last year, if I'm not wrong, ascended into ASEAN and was accepted as full member of ASEAN. He has indicated his full support for Papua New Guinea to be progressed, but we told him it is not only your job, you're not present, do what you have to do, but we will also make sure our lobby to be a full member of ASEAN takes place at the earliest, according to the process that ASEAN nations are subscribed to.
And we certainly will totally support Papua New Guinea long-standing request to join ASEAN, which will be to the advantage of ASEAN and to advantage of Papua New Guinea, but also very much advantage to ASEAN as a whole, to have Papua New Guinea as a member. Such a great country, great people.
They also revealed plans to open reciprocal embassies to enhance trade and cultural ties.
We look forward to opening an embassy here, and it will be a great privilege for us to also have a PNG embassy in Timor-Leste.
Excellency has indicated his nation's interest to open an embassy here. I have also indicated our nation's interest to open an embassy there. We are both nations emerging, tucked in the middle of a region where you have Indonesia to our east and in the Mararas, you have Australia to our south, you have the ASEAN family of nations, the Pacific Island family of nations, as well as the APEC nations. And we are in this space together and working side by side with nations like Timor-Leste will give us more outreach and more network.
The leaders also highlighted similarities between the two countries, including oil and gas resources, flag features and populations with shared cultural affinities. Prime Minister James Marape said PNG and Timor-Leste are stronger together than in isolation and must collaborate to amplify Pacific voices on ocean preservation and resource rights. Susan Oreape, TV1 News.
Prime Minister James Marape has called on Pacific and Southeast Asia leaders to unite in protecting the world's oceans, warning that the survival of island nations, their cultures, economics and future generations depend on action taken today. Speaking at the inaugural Melanesian Ocean Summit 2026, Prime Minister Marape said the gathering was more than a regional meeting. It is a defining global moment for ocean states and island communities.
The inaugural Melanesian Ocean Summit is being attended by Pacific Island countries, including representatives from the Philippines and Indonesia. PNG Prime Minister James Marape outlined the importance of oceans to the people of Pacific and how it defines them as people from this region. He therefore called for greater protection of the ocean ecosystem. Prime Minister Marape thanked regional leaders, development partners and participating nations for supporting the summit and recognizing the urgent need for stronger ocean protection measures and sustainable economic practices. He said the Pacific's collective ocean territories cover a vast portion of the planet and hold immense environmental and economic significance, and said the conversations from this summit must continue beyond Port Moresby and become embedded in wider regional and international frameworks. He called for balance between economic development and environmental sustainability, warning against reckless exploitation of marine resources as Asia's economic growth accelerates over the coming century. Prime Minister Marape also delivered an emotional reflection on the state of the planet, saying humanity must act now to ensure future generations inherit a livable world. Prime Minister Marape urged leaders attending the summit to treat the gathering as a historic turning point for global ocean conservation. A Melanesian Ocean Corridor of Reserves Declaration, or MOCO, was also signed today at the summit. Prime Ministers Sitiveni Rabuka of Fiji, Jotham Napan of Vanuatu and Marape signed the declaration. The declaration aims to strengthen regional cooperation on ocean governance, marine conservation and climate action. Ruth Rongola, TVWAN News.
Papua New Guinea has reaffirmed its close ties with Vanuatu during the Melanesian Ocean Summit in Port Moresby. Both countries agreed to strengthen diplomatic engagement, with PNG establishing a High Commission in Vanuatu and Vanuatu opening one in Port Moresby. Marape emphasized that together the two nations are stronger, while on their own they risk being swayed by the power struggles of bigger countries. The two leaders stressed that Pacific unity is vital in addressing global challenges, ensuring the region's voice is heard on climate change and ocean conservation. Prime Minister Marape met with his counterpart Jotham Napat, highlighting shared priorities in climate change, ocean conservation and Pacific unity. At the Melanesian Ocean Summit, grassroots voices are calling for stronger support. The Sea Women of Melanesia are empowering village women to lead reef conservation. Their message at the Oceans Conference is the need for political support to continue their conservation work. The Sea Women of Melanesia are participating at the inaugural Melanesian Ocean Summit at the APEC House in Port Moresby. The organization empowers indigenous women in the country to lead reef conservation by providing marine science training such as coral sea monitoring, scuba diving, and boat handling. Director and Public Officer Go'u Ava said they have been empowering village women to lead reef conservation.
We take women through an intensive 1 to 2 weeks training. We train them in theory, how to do the methods that we do out at sea, how to carry out the community engagement, awareness to the communities that we work with. We also have practical training where we train the women in snorkeling, scuba diving, how to carry out an expedition, how to use the equipment that we use to capture our images from the corals and the fish.
The organization is donor-funded and is calling for stronger political support to sustain its work. Ava said giving women a voice in reef management strengthens household and communities, ensuring decisions reflect local needs.
The message that we want to send to our leaders at this Melanesian Ocean Summit is for their political support in the work that we do.
The Sea Women of Melanesia say empowering women at the grassroots is key to protecting coral reefs and linking village action to regional ocean policy. And now the market report. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2299 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2224, $0.3029 Australian dollars, $0.1806 euro, and 34.69 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold, coffee, cocoa, palm oil, and copper closed higher, while crude oil closed lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, while ASX and all ordinaries closed lower. TVWAN News continues after the break. Stay with us.
For too long, banking has felt out of reach for many. But now, PSP's One-Took Wallet is here to change that. Send and receive money, pay bills, and top up. It's your money, wherever, whenever. Because at PSP, we are committed to improving how our customers connect to our One-Talks, to our family, to the ones we love. PSP's One-Took Wallet. Money made easy. Dial *131# for everyone.
When you're all in, anything can happen. Grab a Coca-Cola and enjoy the moment.
The PNG LNG project has now generated more than 30 billion kina for Papua New Guinea since production commenced. Nearly half of this amount has been paid as tax. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to the IRC, while development levies and royalties are paid to DPE.
Life is about making memories, sharing new adventures. Go beyond the familiar. Don't let bacteria hold you back from experiencing the world. Protex uses natural antibacterial protection with flaxseed oil and eliminates 99.9% of bacteria. Free yourself. Go beyond with Protex.
You sabe tu awesome condom and one way where you can abrusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancy? Tingim, use him condom long right way. Stop safe na look out him you yet. Use him condom all get a time. Suppose you no sabe long HIV status long partner blog you or suppose you got plenty partner. Use him condom good all get a time. Long haborusim seek HIV, STI na unplanned pregnancies. Use him condom banisim you yet na future blog you. This platok sabe ikam long National AIDS Council Secretariat.
You have to meet my best friend. She's the sweetest. Hey, check out my hair.
Which one? The one on your head or the one in the sink? Relax. Next time, just use the Mega Growth Anti-Damage Relaxer. It's infused with wonder oils and conditioning proteins for visibly less hair breakage after retouching. Now your hair looks great.
Thank you.
Mega Growth Anti-Damage No-Light Cream Relaxer for visibly less hair breakage after retouching.
Discover your home away from home at the Sidler Bay Hotel in Lorengau, Manus Province. Whether business or leisure, our modern amenities, delicious local cuisine, and serene surroundings will make you feel right at home. Book your stay now. Call 7496-3232 or email reservations@sidlerbayhotel.com.pg. Sidler Bay Hotel, where your Manus adventure begins.
Welcome back. In news overseas, The repatriation of a group of Australians stranded on a antivirus cruise is underway. They are en route to Western Australia's RAAF base in Perth, on the outskirts of Perth. They will then be transferred to the nearby Bullstroke quarantine facility.
There's been a little bit of action here at this Bullsbrook facility ready to house those passengers that will be landing in Perth. There's been a few people milling about inside, as well as a guard who was wearing a mask opening and closing that main gate. We know they will land nearby at the RAAF base. It's about a 7-minute drive from this facility. They'll then be transported straight here to begin their quarantine period. Now, this Bullsbrook facility is a $400 million facility. It's got 500 beds and it's pretty much sat idle since its completion in 2022. It was built during COVID, but pretty much hasn't been used as a quarantine facility, but it is purpose-built. Many have wondered whether it could be used for crisis accommodation, and recently the WA government earmarked it as a potential prison to help with WA's overcrowded prisons. WA Premier Roger Cook said that the WA government is standing by and health officials are ready to step in and help, and obviously they've gotten that tap on the shoulder from the Commonwealth to do so. Health Minister Mark Butler said that these passengers obviously will be quarantined here for a period of 3 weeks, and that is inclusive of their 42-day incubation period. But of course, the period after that 3 weeks, we are unsure of at the moment about what will be happening with that. Mark Butler said that these 6 passengers are coming here. There are 5 Australians from New South Wales and Queensland and 1 New Zealander. At the moment, he said they aren't displaying any symptoms of the virus, but this is a long flight and there's a high risk of transmission on this flight because it's a small plane. Many of the flight crew, all of the flight crew and those who are involved with the disembarking of this flight when it gets to Perth will be wearing PPE and will be using the highest protections to avoid any contact with these passengers. As for the staffing arrangement at this facility, we're not sure at the moment whether anyone here will be able to come and go from the community or whether they will have to just stay here. We have heard from the WA Health Minister Meredith Hammett, and she said there's no risk to the community at this time, and reissued her support for this facility, saying it's a responsible and safe way to house these people.
An ABC investigation has found that energy giant Shell has been paying minimal tax on its trading profits by selling Australia's gas through Singapore. The company says it has done nothing wrong.
It has one of the lowest company tax rates in the developed world and is a well-known haven for financial institutions. I've come to Singapore, a country with no natural gas reserves that's now one of the world's biggest traders of it. And much of that gas is Australia's. In the $500 billion a year trade, one company stands tall.
Shell accounts for around 1/5 of Australia's LNG production, and Australia accounts for around 1/4 of Shell's global LNG supply.
According to company documents, between 2017 and 2024, Singaporean-based Shell Global LNG bought $83 billion of gas. It then sold for $105 billion. That's $22 billion more than it paid for it. About 85% of that gas was sourced from other Shell companies, including those in Australia.
There's absolutely zero reason why those trades could not be done from Australia.
Shell acknowledged that most of its Australian gas was sold through Singapore, saying the island nation provided access to markets and had significant expertise in trading, marketing and shipping. In the 8-year period, Shell Global made a pre-tax profit of $2.8 billion. It paid $178 million to Singaporean authorities. That's a tax rate of 6.3%, which isn't bad when you compare it to Australia's corporate tax rate of 30%.
To me, the warning bells would be ringing in terms of whether there's a profit-shifting risk there.
Shell said the company has an ongoing and transparent dialogue with the Australian Taxation Office.
Ultimately, this becomes a game where the industry will try and minimise its tax as much as legally possible, and the tax office will try and is aware of that and makes its rules accordingly.
Back in Singapore, the game of shells goes on, with billions on the line.
The Canberra to Sydney train line will receive $100 million in new funding. The improvements to tracks and stations are expected to cut the trip to under 4 hours, while the funding will also finance planning to further reduce the train's travel time.
For many, the Canberra to Sydney train line can be summed up as scenic but slow.
I love the train, it's terrific.
It's sort of third or fourth on my list of preferred methods of travel because of the time it takes.
Tomorrow's federal budget will look to speed it up. It'll include $50 million funding for the Canberra to Sydney line. The New South Wales and ACT governments will each contribute $25 million. Over the next 5 years, that will fund improvements to tracks and stations, as well as new boom gates and lights.
We know that there are some quick fixes that we can make to make the service much more efficient and to make it a little bit quicker.
It's about 4.25 hours. It can be as long as 4.5. We are hoping to get that down to under 4 hours.
That's still slower than taking the bus or driving to Sydney, but the announcement will also fund planning works to speed up the line.
That investment will need to occur in a number of different sections of the track, but I think the important thing is that the new trains will have the capacity to travel faster.
There are 3 Canberra to Sydney trains each day, and they are popular.
It's always full, I must say.
The New South Wales government says it wants to increase the number of services, although that will likely depend on when its new trains come online.
2028 is the first scheduled time on the tracks.
On track for improvements, but not exactly full steam ahead.
The global energy crisis has had a dramatic effect on the uptake of electric vehicles in the Act. Sales and registration of EVs have increased across the country since the start of the Middle East conflict, with Cambrians leading the charge.
As the price of fuel has soared, so too has the number of EVs in the capital.
In 2026, 1 in 4 sales in the ACT were EVs, and last month that grew to 1 in 3 sales. So it represents what's happening across the country, but more advanced.
So far this year, Canberrans have bought twice as many EVs compared to the national average. 12 months ago, 11,000 EVs were registered in the ACT. That's now risen to almost 16,000. More than 1,000 of those were registered during the 2 months that followed the start of the Iran war.
The increasing number of Chinese brands that are coming into the country, that's driving more models into the market, more models, more brands, and that's driving an increase in competition, certainly from where we were 5 years ago.
More choice coming at the right time for consumers, for new and used electric cars.
The used market is evolving. We've now had EVs for about 10 plus years, so there is an EV market, and the price pressure that we see in the new car market translates to the used car market,
making them a natural fit for Canberra's cost and climate-conscious drivers.
People here have higher disposable incomes. I think there's also a stronger green focus in the ACT than what there is probably across the broader country, so it's not surprising that EVs are stronger in Canberra than elsewhere.
EVs now make up 4.5% of vehicles registered in the capital.
Sports is next. I'll join you on the other side with an update of the National Youth Competition. Stay tuned.
Meet UmiPay, your digital wallet from TISA Bank. Your gateway to seamless transactions. Withdraw cash anytime at your nearest TISA agent. Send money to family and friends.
Hello, Sam.
Anytime, anywhere. Top up and pay with just a scan. From taxis to coffee and small businesses, UmiPay makes every payment simple. UmiPay, powered by TISA Bank.
Papa va come close to Laos. Kaya ino rediet. Mak blem pelatia. Mam stu glorasta. Suppose I'm not ready. Ayo. mas lepasin lo paps. Em sure way beli mel kita.
He finds Johnston. Johnston with some room to move. Alex Johnston. He kicks it again. This should be a try. Alex Johnston's in.
It's an unstoppable rush. Taking that extra mile. Pushing beyond the limit and making it happen. Fueling the passion for rugby and empowering the next generation. Feel the power.
Kids in Papua New Guinea love to smile and spread joy. And when they smile, it lights up our world. Come on, Mom, it's you first. Do the 1, 2, 3. Wake up. Brush your teeth. Smile. Let's spread some smiles in PNG with Colgate.
It's another maxi, and it is. He's in the 30s, and the team total goes past 50.
This is where the league's best thrive. Where unforgettable moments linger. What a catch! And the magic of the game comes to life. This may lead the park back on its way out of here. This is where it's at.
This is why I love this game.
Major League Baseball all season on ESPN.
Thanks for staying with us. Newcomers Gulf Under-17 Boys Academy has produced a fairy tale debut in this year's PNG RFL Academy program, advancing to the grand final after defeating NGI and topping Pool A. Gulf will now meet the winner of Pool B, Mount Hagen Academy, in the grand final decider this weekend.
The flamboyant Gulf side surprised many with their athleticism, skill, speed and agility. Defensively, they were relentless, showing confidence and enthusiasm throughout the campaign. After their emphatic victory over NGI on Saturday, Gulf assistant coach David Wenner said his players were visibly emotional, celebrating joy and excitement.
Thank you. Big credits to the NGI boys. They played really structured footy. They played really well, and we saw the display. Our boys, despite of that some silly errors, but they dig deep. They hang in there, and then they got the win. So we are happy.
Okay. Coach Wenner also thanked the PNG RFL Academy for providing the pathway program that develops enough skills young players from the school level up. He says the boys are now showing the results of their 22 weeks of training on skills, ball handling, tackling techniques, and other key dynamics of the game, which was a pleasing outcome for the boys.
Thank you goes to the NRL Academy for this program to upskill our youths in the country, where we took them for 22 weeks of training. Training them on the skills, ball handling, tackling, all this, playing the ball. So after 22 weeks now, NYC came in, and we see that what they learned, they are displaying now, so we are very happy.
Wenner added they have played tough but close matches during the 4 weeks of academic competition and has expressed great confidence in the boys' ability to do well in the grand final.
Yes. So very confident. We trust our boys. From day one they came. Our losses were just 1 or 2 points, and then we came this far. So we have believe and trust in our boys, our officials, and our management. My also big shout out and thanks go to the Calviso management for always supporting us with little things, materials that they support us.
Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
Port Moresby AFL development players David and Alan Vara has repped codes and joined the Port Moresby Vipers under-19 side in the National Youth Competition for the 2026 season, becoming the latest graduates of the PNG AFL New Kick Academy to try rugby league. David's club playmate Jeremiah Ban is now playing at the PNG National Rugby League competition, Digicel ExxonMobil Cup, following his successful audition with the Port Moresby Vipers during the off-season.
David and Alan, hailing from Sepoy village in the Gulf province, but raised at Gordons. The Severa boys grew up playing Australian rules football, soccer and rugby on the streets before joining the Gordons Kokofas AFL club at the junior under-15 and under-17 divisions. There they developed strong catching, kicking, running and agility skills.
Background like rugby, soccer, but I'm boys play AFL or street. I'm play AFL. I'm like a switch code game, come back in rugby. My background, I'm play rugby, I'm play Royals, all similar. Ben women similar, I'm play soccer in Kala, NYC Vipers.
David has represented PNG at the international AFL level and was part of the PNG Mosquitoes side that won the inaugural 2024 Cup at the Sunshine Coast, Queensland. Alan has represented at the junior levels and had a short stint playing in Australia. While playing for the Royals Rugby League Club during the off-season, the brothers were invited by NCD Academy coach Ben Wemin to trial with the team, and it paid off. Alan, the youngest brother and fullback, said the group has welcomed them warmly.
No, I'm not new fellow. All boys, I'm not coming inside. So thank you all boys, helping me play, to talk under me play. Yeah, like both, I'm not learning a lot. Like AFL, I'm not learning a lot. Color rugby too, I'm not learning plenty something. But I'm not just play sports, so when opportunity comes, let's know.
Following a tough win over the strong Central NYC outfit, Alan said the pair will keep working hard with 2 rounds left before the finals.
Vipers NYC, thank you, Ben, Coach Ben, Karim Blakaminsalo, NYC Vipers. Yeah. Next step to me look forward to play senior men's Vipers. Me look forward to play. Give opportunity. Me just wait the coach to give opportunity to select me lo senior. Okay. I'm teammate to me. How I'm going. Nitola BNM na goes. Yeah.
David lines up in the centres and highlighted how his AFL background has helped their league game, particularly kicking, running and conditioning. He thanked coach Ben Wemin for the opportunity and said the transition has taught them new skills to improve their rugby. David has its sights set on progressing to the Vipers' top-level side following the footsteps of former AFL teammate Jeremiah Ban, who now plays in the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup. Versatile and adaptable, David can play fullback, centre and middle forward.
They fit in well based on the skills that we've been taught in the academy, and it's working for us, so we're happy. They're 2 very good kids. They've got good characters. Obviously, we need kickers and catchers in the team, and these 2 fit in well. Yeah. We look at producing more of Lightning Jeremiah Ben. So once he is down or he's out or he's gone somewhere, at least we've got the replacement there. Yeah.
Port Moresby Vipers NYC head coach Godfrey Luke expressed great confidence in the current playing group, mostly academy players. Luke said the inclusion of the 2 Severa brothers from AFL has added depth and value to the team. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
This ends the sports segment. This is a renewal strong wind warning issued by Papua New Guinea National Weather Service for Milne Bay Islands to Cape Bukal to Finschhafen and from Madang to waters of East and West Sepik and the northern PNG and Indonesia border. Strong southeasterly winds of 25 to 33 knots are expected to continue for the next 12 to 24 hours, causing rough seas. All small craft and boats are advised to take necessary precautions before going out to sea, especially in these warning areas. And now the weather. Southern, Port Moresby mostly fine. Alatau, cloudy with rain and rain showers. Mamase, Lake cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Padang and Wewak mostly fine. New Guinea Islands, Lorengau, partly cloudy then few showers. Buka, cloudy periods then some rain and rain showers. And Highlands region, all centers, morning fog pitches clearing into partly cloudy then few evening showers. Except Mount Hagen, morning fog pitches clearing into mostly fine then few afternoon and evening showers. Ocean forecast, Coral Sea sees rough to very rough with east to southeast winds of 25 to 33 knots, reaching 34 to 47 knots along the western sector. Solomon Sea sees slight to moderate with southeast winds of 10 to 20 knots. Bismarck Sea sees moderate to fresh with southeast winds of 15 to 24 knots. Pacific Ocean sees slight with east to southeast winds of 10 to 15 knots. And coastal waters forecast. Waters of Samarai Island to Cape Bukal and all Milne Bay Islands to Owen Gulf to Finschhafen, and waters of West Madang to Wewak to Vanuatu and northern PNG and Indonesia border seas 2 to 3 meters. Waters of New Ireland to New Britain seas 1 to 3 meters. And that ends another edition of TVWAN News. Pleasant viewing. Good night.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by